Meantime, we're learning more about the role that Nancy Reagan played during her husband's time in office. Grover Norquist, the host of One America's new show, Political Plots Revealed, sat down with Jim Kuhn, an executive aide to President Reagan. Here's an inside look at how Nancy operated and kept her husband's agenda on track.
Jim Kuhn, we've been talking about the time you spent many days with President Reagan, day after day, working with him. Tell us about Nancy Reagan.
As great of an honor as it is to be First Lady of the United States, I'm sure there were days for her where it was living hell. It was that difficult. She didn't come down and go into meetings in the Oval Office or the Cabinet Room and try to formulate policy, but she knew what the policy needed to be for Reagan, and sometimes domestic and foreign policy can stray, and she knew how to step in and get it back on track for Ronnie. She never referred to him as a president, never once in 8 years. It was always for Ronnie, for Ronnie. And when the policy got off track, she made changes. She fired a Secretary of State in El Hague. She fired a White House Chief of Staff in Don Regan because the policies were wrong, to the point that I don't think we would have made it without Nancy Reagan. She had played that big of a role. And let me just tell you real quick, she used to call down to my office, idle office between the Oval Office and the Cabinet Room, and there was a special line, WH1, that stood for White House 1. And when that line rang, it was always Nancy Reagan. And when you called, you went, oh boy. She wasn't calling you in the afternoon to say, hey, Jim, I just wanted to let you know you're doing a good job today. There was always something wrong, but it was never for her. It was always for Ronnie.